Hi, I'm Derral Eves, and in this video you're going to learn about 5 things that's going to improve your YouTube videos to get them to have millions of views. I am Derral Eves. I am a YouTube certified expert, and you are watching Behind the Brand.
And I'm Bryan Elliott here with the amazing Derral Eves. Darryl, welcome to the show.
Hey, it's great to be here. How you doing, Bryan?
Good. I usually ask my guests, how'd you get this job?
How did I get the job? Well, it's actually an interesting story. I decided to quit my job, go into Staples, because that's what you do to buy a desk. And I started my company back in 1999. And I was working with different companies doing internet marketing and search engine optimization, trying to get them to be found online. So I went on Craigslist and we were trying to buy a desk because we were expanding our company. And we saw this ad for a new platform called YouTube. And if we could get 1,000 people to sign up, we could actually get an iPod. Now this is the iPod that would like hold 1,000 songs. It's like the size of a brick and weighed like a brick. Like if you threw it at somebody, it'd probably kill them. And we went over there and I was completely amazed because at that time with video, it's very difficult for video to perform on the internet. Had buffering problems, the bandwidth was horrible, but this was like the first platform that was able to sustain video content. And we noticed that as we started doing videos for our clients in 2006, that these videos were being found on Google. And we started to manipulate them a little bit with a good title and different things that we would optimize. And before you know it, they were at the front page of Google. When Google actually purchased YouTube that year, it became really easy to do our job. And we found that that it was really interesting. You can get people to really fill the message and take them through the process of conversion. And we really shifted our business towards video and generating sales and kind of going from there.
I'm glad to have you here as the resident expert in YouTube. And maybe we can break down some of these things for people who want to know how to build out their YouTube channel or build an audience, or maybe they're wondering, why they're not having so much success. So let's break down a few things. So maybe let's highlight or underscore some of the things that most people are getting wrong. The algorithms changed a lot.
First off, there's some amazing content online that never sees the light of day. Like I'll stumble upon a video and I'm like, this is just amazing, but yet it has like 100 views. I'm like, well, this deserves, millions and millions of views. And it's not always the content that actually, if you have the most amazing content, that it will actually be shared and so on and so forth. It's all about discoverability. And that's something that we learned really early. It's like, how can we get videos to be discovered? And then 2, how can we make videos that are actually shareable so that can be discovered by others by the best way that you can possibly be discovered, which is someone virtually telling someone else, hey, check this video out. And that's kind of been the method of our success is really figuring out how to make that process happen. And if someone was actually starting in YouTube and trying to figure things out, the best way for them to really get going is to focus in on a couple key areas. Number 1, you have to make a thumbnail that's clickable. What I mean by that is it needs to tell a story just as much as your video is telling a story. The thumbnail needs to be able to explain what it is when people look at it. And they're like, oh, that's interesting, or it kind of draws them into it. The next would have a clickable title. Now, there's a lot of people out there that are really afraid to have a clickable title just because what happens is they're thinking, oh, it's clickbait, and they're going to do the bait and switch, kind of going from there. But it's not. It's like, how can you make the title interesting? I like to think of it as a headline for a blog post, or for the people back in the day, newspapers, right? Like an article. And how are you going to really captivate that really explains and accentuates the video that they're actually producing? And then 2, can it complement the thumbnail? Now, that being said, if that's happening in that ecosystem, when they're on YouTube, people will be engaged to click on it. Now, what happens next is that very critical time, because humanity and humans have a problem. There's so much distraction going on, and they will divert their attention if they lose interest. And so those first 3 to 7 seconds are probably the most critical of your video itself.
So are you directing your clients to also think mobile first?
Absolutely. Yeah, more so now than ever before, just because, over 80% of all, videos viewed on YouTube are coming from a mobile device or some sort of mobile device.
Given all the noise, given all the content, do you think now is the best time to start something new, or do you think we've already missed the boat? Should we have been back with you in 2005, 2006?
I think that we haven't even seen the beginning of it. I think we're just starting to mature, and it's getting really, really interesting. And I think now's a great opportunity. It's like I have a client that had a great idea, started a channel in March, and now they have 200 million video views and just under 500,000 subscribers, just barely under 500,000.
Wow.
And that's just in a matter of a few months. But you really need to know your audience. You need to know your potential audience, what they're actually going to want, and provide it in a way to keep interest. And so what happens is when somebody comes on and you suck them into that, literally that 5-7 second, and you really pull them into your video, you now literally have about a minute to keep them there. And this is probably the most difficult minute that a lot of people have, because they hooked them, they got them there, but if they jump off and go somewhere else, it does no good, because all the content is within the video itself.
Right.
And so it's spending a little bit of time thinking about, before you even pick up a camera, before you even start thinking of what you want it to be, for the video. It's like, okay, what's the thumbnail? What's the title? What's the hook? And what's that first minute going to look like? Because if we can't perfect that, no one's going to see our content.